But anyway, we're going to go ahead and keep it moving from that, and we are going to take it to Memphis, Tennessee. If you're aware, yes, 3 ex-Memphis officers were found guilty of witness tampering in the Tyre Nichols fatal beating. So if y'all remember this happening in 2023 last year, Tyre Nichols was beat by multiple black Tennessee police officers. And 3 of those former Memphis, Tennessee officers were convicted Thursday of federal witness tampering charges related to the deadly beating of Tyre Nichols. And those 3 are going to be Demetrius Haley, Justin Smith, and Tadarrius Bean. Tadarrius? Really? They were accused of depriving Nichols of his right through excessive force, obstructing justice through witness tampering, and other crimes. They pleaded not guilty. One of them, Haley, was convicted of 1 count of conspiracy to witness tamper and 1 count of obstruction of justice for witness tampering. Bean and Smith, the other 2, were found guilty of only 1 count of obstruction of justice for witness tampering. None of the men were found guilty of the counts of deprivation of rights under color of the law for excessive force and for failure to intervene or deliberate indifference. But Haley was convicted of the lesser count for each, which involved bodily injury. So I'm not sure what this means. It looks like they're going to be taken into custody. There's going to be a hearing Monday to hear from the defense lawyers about releasing them pending the sentencing. So I don't know what the sentencing is going to be. They said these charges could possibly be up to 20 years in prison, and the civil rights charge against that first officer, Haley, is going to carry up to 10 years in prison. So I remember all the speculation around the Tyre Nichols case when it happened. It was very sad and unfortunate, but I remember that was the one where the police officers got arrested immediately. There was no debate. There was no protest. They just yoked them police officers up before the footage came out to be a black cop. But this was a pretty big deal. There were 2 other former officers involved in that, and they pled guilty to the same charges, and they took a plea deal. So the prosecutors will call for them up to 15 years in prison. So this all, if you remember, happened January 7th of last year when the officers beat Nichols after a traffic stop. And the body camera video of the assault showed Nichols posed no threat to them. So
yeah, because this is the one where they said he ran.
Yeah, so they were trying to say he ran, and they beat the dog crap out of him, but the body camera said otherwise. So
yeah, that's. I hope they get their ass whooped. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they are, because they're police officers.
I hope they get their ass whooped, because it's so fucked up when you think about it. When it's one of your own and they whip your ass like that. Now they should whip their ass. I hope they get their ass whipped.
Yeah. So what they're trying to say was Nichols was pulled over for reckless driving, but the police said that there was no evidence to support the allegation that the officers pulled him over for reckless driving. And it says during the 4-week trial, it was acknowledged that one of the officers struck Nichols with his baton 3 times, and he cried like a hoe as prosecutors showed body camera video of other officers punching and kicking Nichols. And then this officer cried and said, "I made his child fatherless. I'm sorry." That's what the officer said. So Nichols did have a young son, so he died 3 days after that beating. And I remember all this happening. Wasn't there an issue with one of the officers and Nichols, and weren't they dating the same woman?
Same girl, I think.
Okay.
But I don't know if that was confirmed or not.
Yeah, I don't know if that was
rumors,
confirmed, but they said one of the officers knew him.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was just a happenstance.
Yeah, it wasn't just some. Yeah, so yeah, this is a severe violation, and
It's carried over from school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it looks like the officers are also facing charges of second-degree murder. State court. to which they pleaded not guilty.
They gonna plead not guilty though.
Yeah, and it says 2 of those officers, the one that cried like a hoe on the stand, are expected to change their pleas to guilty for that.
And that's why, like, don't cry now. Like,
Yeah.
y'all be in the heat of the moment.
Yes.
Even though you're supposed to be trained to, have level heads and all that, y'all be in the heat of the moment making these damn decisions and shit.
Yeah. Craziness. So I don't know what's going to happen with this, but it does look like the officers are paying for what they've done.
That's only because they're black.
Mm-hmm. Oh, of course. Yeah. Remember, that's a blue badge. That's not a dark blue badge of silence. Yeah, the blue wall of silence. Y'all got to remember, when you black, you playing on a different.
It's still a different damn scheme, yo. It's still a scheme.
As Kanye says, even with money, you're still a N-word in a coop.